future plant, right? So now why is the zygote diploid, students? Because the haploid male gamete was fusing with the haploid female gamete. Now can someone tell me why are gametes haploid? Why they are not diploid? Yes.
They have only one chromosome.
One set, not one
One
chromosome.
set.
One set. But I am asking why are they like haploid? Like, why? They have one set, but why? What's the need? Why not two sets or anything of that? Tell me. Anyone? See, students. The plant body initially is diploid, right? So the gametes, they are haploid so that two gametes that are haploid in nature, when they're going to fuse, they're going to form a diploid zygote, which further is just like the parent plant. Now this zygote, which is a diploid cell, it is going to divide more and become the embryo, right? And this embryo is finally going to develop into the future plant. So after the fertilization, the zygote undergoes several divisions. Mitosis particularly, it undergoes several divisions to make the embryo, which further becomes the future plant. Now, you people remember ovary of the flower? Ovary, you
Yes.
remember? Hmm. So that ovary of the flower, it ripens up and it turns into the fruit. Okay, so you, if in very short term, you can say that fruit is a ripened ovary. And on the other hand, all of you know that inside the fruit, seeds are present. So we, like those seeds, they are formed from the ovule. So the ovule, they turn into the seeds. The ovary turns into the fruit. That is why we say that the seeds are present inside the fruit, and we know that the ovule was present inside the ovary, right? So that's the case. So the ripened ovary is the fruit, and the fertilized ovule, once it becomes, you can say, the seed. Now, after the process of fertilization is finally completed, meaning the gamete has been transferred, the gamete has been fused, the zygote has been made. When all of these important functions of the plant's reproduction is completed, then all those whorls of the plant that were involved during the reproduction, such as petals, sepals, stamen, style, stigma, all of that, they are going to fall off. And as they fall off, now the reason why? Because they're not needed anymore. Okay. Because now the fertilization, the whole entire purpose is completed and they're not needed anymore. As a result of which, it's going to fall off. Now the question comes along, the importance of seed. Now you people know, if I ask all of you to make a plant or to plant a, to grow a plant. So what you'll do, you'll start with the seed level, right? You'll take the seed, sow it into the soil, pour water onto it, and then wait, right? That's what you're going to do. So seed is the precursor of a new plant life. It is the part of the plant which will give rise to the future generation. So seed is the product of sexual reproduction in the flowering plant. And this seed has so many importance, such as the first one, it is important during agriculture or farming because the new plants and the whole entire crop field is set up because of the seeds only. Then they are a great source of food. There are many seeds that are eaten in the form of food as well. Can you name any? Which thing you eat is a seed indeed? Hmm? The seed, students, like the dal, the pulses that we have, those are seeds only, isn't it? So a lot of seeds are a source of food also. Now, since they are a product of sexual reproduction, so they offer a lot of diversity. So the plant diversity is a result, it's like a thing that comes from the seed only, and genetic variation. Because you people know variations, they are the introduction of new characters into the offspring. Now, if there's a set of seed, there is a set of organism, then it's going to basically form the whole entire organism. So this much is clear to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, talking about the seed. So see, these, like you people know that since we are talking about the flowering plants, so flowering plants are angiosperms, right? Angiosperms is the name given for the flowering plants. So flowering plants, they have seeds. Now, there are two types of seeds. Okay, one is monocot, that has a single cotyledon, and the second is a dicot that has two cotyledons. Now, tell me one thing, students. If I give you a kidney bean, a rajma bean, okay, and if I ask you to split that kidney bean into two parts, will you be able to do so? Splitting it into two parts? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And at the same time, if I give you a rice seed and ask you to split it into two equal parts, will you be able to do so? Rice seed.
No.
No. Rice seed cannot. Achha, the rest of the students, please switch on your videos. In the class, you're supposed to keep your videos on. Afreen and Abdullah, switch on your videos. So dicots are those, the first case, wherein there are two parts to the seed. So we call it as a dicot seeds that have two cotyledons. And monocot is the seed that has just a single cotyledon present. Now, when we talk about the structure of the seed, see, this is the diagram for it. So these two things that you see labeled as 1 and 2. Abdullah, something is obstructing your camera. Remove it. So 1 and 2, these are known as the cotyledons of the seed. Okay. And the cotyledons, like in between the cotyledons, there is an embryonic axis present. Okay. Which is like the part which will divide the seed into two equal parts. Now, the portion that is above the embryonic axis is called as the plumule. And the portion that is below the embryonic axis, it's called as the radicle. Now, this is only the seed. You're going to take the seed, you're going to sow it into the like soil and everything. So the question comes along, what is plumule and radicle for? So plumule is the part of the seed that's going to give rise to the shoot of the future plant. Whereas radicle is the part of the seed that is going to give rise to the root of the future plant. Okay, so this was the structure of a dicot seed in which every seed has a tough protective covering, which is called as the seed coat. On the other hand, inside the seed, there are two regions. There's plumule and then there is radicle. So when we talk about the plumule, plumule is that part of the seed that has the potential to give rise to the shoot or the stem of the future plant. On the other hand, the radicle is that part of the seed which will give rise to the root of the future plant. Okay, so one is for the shoot and one is for the root. The next thing is seed germination. Now, seed germination, it is the process in which the seed is going to grow. Like when you take a seed, you sow it in the soil, give all the necessary requirements like the temperature, moisture, pH and everything. Then the seed germinates, meaning it gives rise to a tiny plant, which becomes the new plant that you're growing. Okay, so it gives rise to a tiny plantlet, and it happens only when the right temperature, right pH, right type of soil, and enough water is present. If any one of the situation is compromised, seed is not going to germinate. Okay. Now talking about the thing that is opposite to the seed germination, and we call it as seed dormancy. So when we talk about seed dormancy, it is a time period in which the seed becomes inactive, meaning the seed does not germinate. Why? Because the conditions around the seed is unfavorable, meaning maybe not enough temperature is there, not enough pH, or not enough water is there. So in this case, the seed is not going to germinate. The seed will only germinate when all the conditions are in its favor. So during this time of being dormant, the seed remains viable and it does not die. Viable means the seed is alive. It is going to germinate, but it's just that since the favorable conditions are not there, or preferred conditions are not there, it's not germinating. But now, as soon as you provide it with the favorable conditions, then the seed will germinate. Is it clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. So with this, the sexual reproduction in flowering plants part is completed. Now, what we have to move forward is towards the reproduction in the case of human beings. Okay. Now, everything we have to study in context to the human beings, human fertilization, human gametes, human sexual body parts and everything. Okay. So first you people note down till here, finish up, and then we'll start with human reproduction. Fertilization definition you people have written, right?
Yes, ma'am. Till definition.
Okay. Done, student? Shall I scroll down, student?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Done, students? Shall I scroll
Yes,
down?
ma'am.
Oh, everyone's done now?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. Any problems? Anything you want to ask, students? Done, students. Shall I scroll down?
Yes, ma'am.
Done, students.
Yes, ma'am.
Done, students? Shall I scroll down?
Yes, ma'am.
Done, students? Shall I scroll down? Everyone's done?
Yes. Ma'am,
All right, everyone's done till here?
Yes.
Okay. Now see, furthermore, talking about the human reproduction. Now, in this case, we're going to see how the whole entire process of sexual reproduction revolves around the human. So, the reproduction in the case of human beings obviously is sexual reproduction, wherein again the fusion of the haploid male gamete takes place with the haploid female gamete in order to form the zygote, which will form the offspring. Now, here the male gametes, they are the sperms, whereas the female gametes of the human beings are the ova. Ova is the plural word, ovum is the singular word. But in the case of human beings, it's not very direct. It's not that, okay, fusion and then offspring and that's all. No. There are a lot of steps, there are a lot of stages that we have to study about. So first, we're going to talk about puberty. Now, every individual becomes ready, okay, sort of ready to reproduce sexually when that individual starts to approach puberty or hits puberty. So what is puberty? It is the time period wherein physical and hormonal changes take place, and this is the time wherein a person's child body or the childhood sort of ends and it transitions towards the adulthood. This pubescent time, this puberty time is neither the time of being an adult nor is it the time of being a child. It's like a bridge in between those two stages of life. Okay. And this is the time period which slowly starts to make the individual, whether female or male, it slowly starts to make the individual ready for reproduction or capable for reproduction. So it is marked by the onset of sexual maturity and the development of secondary sexual characters. Two major things take place during this puberty time: onset of sexual maturity and the development of secondary sexual characters. These are the two things. And now the question comes along, at what age group does this period start? So it starts roughly around the age from 13 up until it lasts till 18 years of age, after which the person becomes an adult. Is it clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is like during the puberty time, there are like so many different kinds of changes that takes place in the person's body, which therefore becomes one of the major driving force towards the reproduction. Does anyone have any doubts up until now?
No, ma'am.
no.
No doubts? Okay. Now, secondary sexual characters. What are these? Secondary sexual characters, these are the physical characters. Okay, and this develops around the puberty time, which helps a person to distinguish between a male and a female. Right? There are a lot of things like when you see a male or a female, you can distinguish that, okay, this is a male person and this is a female. So how can we do that? It's because of the secondary sexual character. Okay, so these are the physical characters that defines a male, defines a female, and this basically is like the physical appearance. But remember one thing, that it is not directly involved in reproduction process. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so any doubts? Anyone wants to ask anything? Hmm?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, students. So we'll keep it till here only and we'll continue in the next class.